All right, everybody, welcome back to After Hours. I'm here with my special guest, Tarishi Midnight Shuler. Is that how you say your name?
That's correct.
Yes. And is that your given name, or did someone? I mean, like, you just tell me the background of getting that name.
My government, so to speak, name is Tarishi Shuler.
Okay. And Midnight. What is
Midnight? Is a stage name.
Okay.
It's broken down to an acronym. It
Yeah.
stands for Messiah is dominant, now inspired. God helps Tarishi.
Really? I thought you were just doing Midnight because it was like, oh, dangerous. Look at me into the nights, all creepy like an owl or something like that.
No, but I like the nighttime, so
Yeah.
that's where part of the inspiration came from. And one of my favorite hip hop art groups were Tribe Called Quest. And around the time I gave myself the name, they dropped their third album, Midnight Marauders.
Yes, I love A Tribe Called Quest. I don't listen to their music often, but I've heard a few tunes. We Got the Jazz.
Yes,
is one of my favorite ones. I mean, I think A Tribe Called Quest, above all, they signify hip hop as it should be.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of hip hop today is very club oriented, very popular-ish. Like, they try to go with the latest fad rather than actually speak something meaningful and thought-provoking. And
Exactly.
A Tribe Called Quest, they do that, and it's just like you have to respect that era of hip-hop because it actually like meant something. You know what I mean?
Certainly.
Like, a lot of people say, oh yeah, hip-hop is kind of like poetry. I mean, you can't get any more poetic than that.
I agree.
Yeah. Have you seen Naughty by Nature by any chance in person?
No, never has seen them in person.
Okay, yeah, because it just came to my head. Because in a way, Tribe Called Quest and Naughty by Nature, they're similar, right, in style, because they were both out in the '90s.
Ooh,
Or maybe Naughty by Nature was a little bit more explicit.
There's more explicit.
Yeah.
I don't think they're similar, but it came out around. It's around the same genre, same time era.
Okay.
But I like Naughty by Nature is awesome. Also, a very good group too.
Yeah. The reason I brought it up, yeah, I just like to brag for no reason. No. I went to see the Late Show with David Letterman in person one time, and they were actually the musical guests. So I was like,
wow.
yeah, and it was weird because they're coming out, and it's like, wait a minute, this band hasn't been relevant for like 20-something years, and all of a sudden they're coming out in like 2012 performing on national television here. So I thought it was pretty cool.
That was dope.
But yes, so I have to say this. How the hell were you able to get a picture with former President Bill Clinton? I mean, I just got to point that out. I saw this picture, and I was like, okay, I'd be an idiot not to interview this guy. So, like, how did that come about?
In short, I'm a co-facilitator with an organization called Love 146, and Love 146 is a nonprofit organization. They advocate and educate and have aftercare prevention programs for sexually exploited children and children have been trafficked.
Okay.
So September 20th of this year, they were celebrating their 10th anniversary.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you. And I go into the schools with them and do poetry and do lessons and educate with them, help educate students on what goes on, how human trafficking looks like here in the U.S. and also abroad.
Okay.
And
now, may I ask what inspired you to get into this group? Did you see an actual incident of children being sexually exploited, and you said to yourself, "I have to get involved," or was it just kind of an instinct thing?
No, I heard of it.
Okay.
As well as everybody else.
Yeah.
I heard of human trafficking. About a year and a half ago, I was in New Haven on the Green, and a gentleman by the name of Lamont Hebert was down there performing his guitar. He was singing a song. He's one of the founders. He's one of the co-founders of Love 146, and he was playing guitar and singing a song about. It was a very positive, uplifting song about things he do and about his the children he helped. And after it's all done, he gave me out pamphlets, and he gave me a pamphlet, and the pamphlet had a lot of information about Love 146 and also statistics on what happens in this area, this thing of human trafficking and child sex exploitation.
Well, what's this? Give me like an example of a statistic.
Statistically, there's 27 million children, right, humans there in slavery. And
Wow.
human trafficking, we consider that to be modern day slavery.
Wow.
So when you say 27 million in slavery, it's
Yeah.
not so much like slavery during Jim Crow days, more so like sex slavery, plantation, child labor, child soldiers. So one of the other statistics is like every minute 2 children are being sold.
Yeah, it's tough because and I actually remember having a similar interview with Cindy Martinez. I don't know if you know her.
Yes.
Yeah, from Heartbeat
Heartbeat.
Youth Ensemble. Yeah, she was on my public access television show way back in May or June of this year, and she was basically talking about how the Berlin Turnpike is one of the destinations of young women being trafficking targets, meaning like they're used for sex slavery purposes, and it's just shocking because I don't know, you just think Connecticut and you think it's just suburban peace, like none of that goes down. But when you actually hear it, it's just like, what? I mean, you have to really open your eyes and realize that it does really go down.
And what happened was they celebrated. Love 1 for 6 decided to celebrate their 10th anniversary in Times Square, New York, at the Edison Ballroom, and I was one of the performing artists.
Nice.
As well.
How was that experience?
That was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah. Vince Gill, country Grammy Award winner singer, was there.
Okay.
I met Brooke Anderson.
Nice.
From the CBS Insider.
Oh, all right. I know none of these people, but
okay.
Still, if you make them seem like big names, then whatever. Go ahead. I mean, you've seen Bill Clinton, so that's enough for me.
So what happened was when I was backstage, before I went backstage, one of my I can't remember his name for the life of me right now. It'll come back to me. One of the gentlemen came up to me and said to me, "Bill Clinton is coming down here."
Wow.
I said, "Really?" And no one knew about it. And
big surprise.
It was a big surprise.
Yeah.
So I was getting ready to go on stage, and I was prepping to go backstage, and all of a sudden they was telling me Bill Clinton's in the building.
Oh my God. Yeah, imagine your reaction. Like, what?
Oh,
what was it like?
So my act. So how I got the picture with him, I was backstage, and getting ready to go on.
Yeah.
And then I went on stage, performed in my poem, came back behind stage, and then next thing you know, I see Secret Service man coming down the stairs.
Oh my God. I mean, that's the great thing. Like, even when you're done being president, you get Secret Service for, I think, like the rest of your life.
The rest of your life.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
And next thing I know, one of the guys saying, "All right, so I'll clear down here." And then you see former President Bill Clinton coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
And he's a cool person. He's actually it's the way people imagine him on TV, and they see him in speeches and
yeah, they call him the big dog apparently.
So he came downstairs. I didn't even introduce myself to him. He walked up to me and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Shook my hand, and then he talked to everybody backstage. They went on stage, gave his speech, came backstage, and right before he was about to leave, I asked him, "Mr. Former President, you mind if I get a picture with you?" And he said, "Oh, certainly." So, so
nice.
He's like, he even said, "Let's turn around so we get out of the light."
Yeah. So, I mean,
put his hand on my shoulder. I was like, "Wow, this is."
Look, if he can take the time to take pictures with average people, that's a sign of a good human being.
The reason why the picture came out blurry is because I gave my camera phone.
Okay.
To
I didn't notice the
blurriness. It was a little fuzziness.
Okay.
And everybody had this sense of nervousness around him, like, "Oh goodness, it's former President Bill Clinton."
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Now. The guy was president for 8 years.
Yeah. So it was but the highlight of that event was for me was being able to perform for Love 1 for 6, and I'm very passionate about what they do, and as much as I enjoy educating and advocating on behalf of them, being a co-facilitator for them, it's sad that we have to do what we do because of what happens and what goes on in the world here in the U.S. and also across the seas internationally as well. So hopefully one day I tell people this, that I no longer have to be educating people on human trafficking. I'd be educating from standpoints of it as a history lesson, as we move forward past this.
Absolutely. Now, does your poetry in general, does it just cover this topic of children and sex slavery, or do you cover a variety of topics outside?
Oh, my poetry covers a vast genre of a lot of things.
Okay.
If I want to categorize it, the main thing that moves me is God, love, spirituality, consciousness. But I do incorporate areas of human trafficking into my poetry as well. So anytime I get the opportunity to educate and advocate on something that's going on in the world, any form of injustice, I will write something about that as well.
Okay. What can you remember your most recent poetry? Something that's outside of what you've been doing with the organization that you're involved in?
I was doing some of the poetry outside of
Yeah. Can you remember like the last poem, whether it was, very emotionally effective, something that hit really deep?
Ooh, the last poem I did was.
Oh God, it's been that long.
No, it's funny because I just shot a video.
Yeah.
With Robert Cooper. Hi, Robert Cooper.
Hey, Robert Cooper. I don't know you, but I love you already.
He's an excellent photographer out of Hartford and Troy, New York area. I shot a video with him for Love 1 for 6.
Nice.
I shot the UK version of the video.
Okay.
Because when I met a gentleman in New York, and he asked me, "Can I recite the same poem, but instead of giving reference to cities and states in the United States, can you give reference to cities and places in the UK?"
Okay.
So it could be played on the UK YouTube channel.
Wow. How is the UK? I mean, I've never been anywhere outside of... Well, actually, I've been to a couple places outside the country, but as far as the UK is concerned, I'm a stranger when it comes to being in that area. What was it like for you?
I've never been either.
Oh, really? Oh.
I just met the guy from the UK was in New York. I just...
Forget that I asked that. Okay. Well, for the sake of... geography.
But I will be there in the future, so put it out there.
Oh, great. England, is that the only place in the UK? I'm not really good with my geography.
You say UK is all United Kingdom. So,
Okay.
London, Birmingham, Nottingham.
So it's England, right?
England, yes. United Kingdom. Yeah.
Okay, I thought United Kingdom was like kind of like the United States, where you have like, oh, England's here, Scotland's there. So yeah, my geography is all over the place. So yeah. Anywho, so how long have you been doing poetry?
I started doing poetry at the age of 17.
Okay.
I'm late to it, as other people are. Some start early.
Better late than never.
I did starting poetry for myself.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I started taking it more serious. When I was a freshman in college, I started doing more poetry. And my friends, actually I was doing poetry and hip-hop at the same time.
Okay.
More so hip-hop, poetry is something that I kept to myself quietly. And a lot of my friends were telling me, my close friends were saying to me, "You sound more like a poet
than a hip-hop artist." Yeah.
So I said, well, let me just...
Do you remember what specifically got you into poetry? What was the inspiration?
Oh, that's excellent. One of the inspirations that got me into poetry was the Roots' first album.
Really?
The first, because everybody think the first album was Do You Want More?
Yeah.
But actually, it had an album before that. It was called Organics.
Yeah, I mean, the Roots. I would say the Roots. One of the very few hip hop. I mean, they don't even do just hip hop. They do like a mix of things. For anybody that's seen Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, they're the house band there.
Yeah, Roots,
one of the
Thought, Quest. I actually saw them live.
Oh,
that's an awesome experience too.
Okay, when was that?
I had. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you. Some time ago.
Yeah.
It was performing at Toll's Place, New Haven.
Okay.
It was awesome.
And you got to see Questlove and his notorious afro.
Notorious afro.
Yeah.
If anybody never got a chance to see Roots, you will get your money's worth. It's like seeing 2 concerts in one.
Wow.
Because after you think the show's over, they just keep on going and going.
Okay, so the Roots got you to your love of poetry.
Well, because what happened was, some that don't know, on the end of the Roots album, at the very last track, there'd be a poet performing poetry.
Wow.
And then I heard that poem. I was like, wow, that is like...
It's something.
It was something, because it was like, I heard poetry, but her poetry was like, it was different. And she was telling a story. And then after that, I was into poetry, but that really like wow, this is...
Yeah, that clicked.
That clicked even more for me.
Yeah.
Because it was very metaphoric.
Okay. And from there, did you just kind of keep to yourself, writing, experimenting with stuff? Or were you like, okay, I have to like immediately get up on stage with this and present it to people and just see what the reaction is? Like, what was it like?
I think from that point on, I started doing open mics around the area in New Haven. where I'm from. So I was doing mics around New Haven. I was doing Jacket Blues Cafe, Sandra's. I met a lot of tremendous, wonderful poets in my travels, and then.
And this is in New Haven?
Well, this is Jacket Blues Cafe is no longer there.
Oh, okay.
This is like I'm going back when I was first started.
Wow. All right. Well, all right. But there's still clubs around the area that you can perform poetry.
There's in New Haven area. There's New Haven, Bridgeport, Hartford area. There's like Poets Realm, Free to Spit, Lyrical Voices, The Russell. There's probably some more I can't think right now.
That's fine.
Yeah, but so I started doing open mics, and then I said to myself, no, let me see how far I could really go with the poetry. And I think back in 2004, I did audition for the Apollo doing poetry.
Wow.
And I took my first time in the Apollo, I took third place doing poetry.
Wow. So let's go over the list. The Roots, Bill Clinton, and the Apollo. That's really magnificent. Now, were you on Showtime at the Apollo, that television show?
All right, so everybody gets the misconception. There's two ways to get to Showtime at the Apollo when you audition for the Apollo.
Yeah.
Either they'll automatically pick you for Showtime at the Apollo,
yeah,
and you just go to Showtime Apollo, or you do it the old-fashioned way where you had to win 3 times at Amateur Night at the Apollo. It's all done. It's all at the same place in New York, Harlem.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen performances at the Apollo, and if you want like deadbeat constructive criticism, I mean, there's no better place than that. I would never perform there, even if someone like put a knife to my throat and said you perform there.
You have to.
I mean, because look, I've seen Lauryn Hill perform there when she was like 15, and she was just getting booed for like 95% of her song that she was performing, and it was just like, wait a minute, Lauryn Hill. I mean, she turned out to be a great singer,
excellent singer.
Yeah, and just like her getting booed there, you just got to wonder, like, oh my God, how did she turn out to be this great Lauryn Hill person?
I think that constructive criticism at the Apollo or any arena, that's going to just help you be a better performer.
Yeah. How was it for you? Did you get a lot of boos or?
It was the first time I performed. It was a dead silence.
Okay.
And then
wait, what you were performing, was it supposed to be humorous or?
No, it wasn't a humorous poem. It was actually a spiritual poem, but it wasn't really a spiritual poem because I would say it was spiritual, and what happened was, at first it was quiet. I heard one person say boo, and then I was like, okay. But they tell you just because somebody boos, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Because you can't let the audience see the fear in you.
Yeah.
Or you can't show no nervousness.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, then everything will just start to fall apart.
Oh God, it's just like you're jumping off a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, take Lauryn Hill for example. Just going back to her, I realized in that video that I watched on YouTube of her singing. I think it like literally starts out with boos from the moment she opens her mouth, and then as she just keeps on going through and gets to those high notes, people are like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm starting to feel this girl. Like she has persistence. So that's what you had.
You have to have that.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, it starts off with the boos,
yeah,
and then you got to show your persistence and keep going with it, and then from that moment on, then you hear some people clapping. So the first half was half boos, half clapping. So it's like a battle in the audience, like claps and the boos. And then you got to show the drive inside you to keep going, fight the boos. And then now you get more and more claps. And then, I was able to, the boos stopped. So I'm good now. So I just ride the wave.
That's good.
And then, which is cool because I'm not only competing against poets, you're competing against poets, singers, and dancers.
Yeah.
All in one night.
Okay.
So I was like,
do comedians still perform there?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was God's blessed me to be able to win that night at third place and do all the other stuff as well after that.
That's magnificent. All right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a short break. We'll come back. We'll talk more. And you said you had a poem that you would like to present. I know I put you like literally 2 or 3 minutes before we came on. I said, "Oh yeah, do you have a poem you could perform?" So he may or may not have something. If he has something, great. If he does not, then you have a great voice. I'm sure
I do.
I'm sure we'd love to hear you babble on for few minutes for nothing. I don't know, just something to fill the dead silence that may come. But yes, do you have a request that you would like to hear in honor of you being here? Maybe something from the Roots, Lauryn Hill. It could be whatever you want.
Yeah, what you have? Let's start off with Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill. Alrighty then. Fuji's Lauryn Hill or solo Lauryn Hill?
Solo Lauryn Hill.
Solo. She did one album, I think.
Yeah, that one album it's gonna be a classic. That one album is
Why did she only do one album? Was she just like not feeling the music industry? Like she was not feeling the business, the system of it?
Only Lauryn Hill can answer that question.
True. I was hearing that she may come back with an album, or the Fugees might be reuniting, or.
Oh, they do. That'd be awesome.
I mean, hey, it would be something. I mean, I've heard both Fugees and Lauryn Hill by herself. It's a very interesting music. What Lauryn Hill song would you like to hear? We have Doo Wop. We have Zion, Sweetest Thing. Tell Him that thing is a very famous. Sweetest Thing.
Yeah.
Now, can you honestly? Yeah, I know. Can you do me a favor and just go stand up and clap. And see what happens. There you go. Oh my God! And just the lights started flashing on the photo booth camera as if I'm God. Yeah. So Lauryn Hill, Sweetest Thing, and it's not profane, is it?
Sweetest Thing? No, I don't think so.
Okay, because if it is, I have to like shut it off. But yeah, she's not too profane on her album, is she?
No.
All right, so I think we're good.
Yes.
All right, so in honor of Tarishi, my guest this week, we will play a request from him. And any requests you guys have, 860-456-2164. Or if you want to get into the discussion about poetry, also call that number. What's the number, Tarishi?
The number is 860-456. 2164.
Yes, it's on that paper over there. I look at that paper every time, even though I have been here forever. All right, so Lauryn Hill, Sweetest Thing, and we'll be right back with more Tarishi. It's After Hours, everybody. Stay tuned.